Hello, everyone. Fred here. The title says it all. In this installment of TPP Dynamite, I'm going to be ranking all 9 seasons of the CW's superhero TV series, The Flash, going from worst to best. First things first, though, if you haven't already, let me encourage you to subscribe to my channel. I post film, book, and TV series reviews. I do opinion pieces on entertainment, news, and affairs. I'm also an author of adult and young adult mystery novels. To date, I've released 3 books: The Women in White, The Lethal List, and most recently, Textbook Murder. They're all on sale now, and there are purchase links in my video description below. With that in mind, and without further ado, I'm going to just dive right in. So, number 9, Season 9. As an ill-conceived, boring, frustrating, ultimately disappointing capstone to a show that started so well in its early years and actually was for a time the reason why many people even began watching superhero TV, The Flash's Season 9 easily takes the last place. And I'm not even going to get into how this season was the one to totally ruin Red Death after the show had been teasing that character for 5 whole years. Number 8, Season 7. I get that COVID catches some of the blame for ruining this season and the last part of Season 6, but still, COVID didn't force the creators to foolishly fire a lead character, tank a story that had been built up for him for over 3 years, then devote the rest of Season 7 to 2 of the worst superhero arcs set to TV since The Thundermans, and to top it off with CGI bad enough to make a person's eyes bleed. Number 7, Season 8. Amazing concepts and fantastic potential that were wasted in execution, plus the most boring and annoying supporting cast set to screen in recent history. Enough said. Number 6, Season 4. This season was consistently mediocre from beginning to end. It failed to build any compelling conflict besides the generic good guy, bad guy deal between Team Flash and the Thinker. It destroyed the Trial of the Flash comic book storyline in adaptation. It never failed to fail at finding the balance between humor and drama. It failed to properly utilize Kid Flash or its other supporting characters, which was a crying shame because the Season 3 finale set up a perfect opportunity to let Kid Flash in particular shine for a few episodes in Season 4 before returning Barry to the spotlight. Number 5, Season 5. 80% of this season languished under the eye-roll-inducingly bland reign of an even blander villain. Most minor villains were criminally underdeveloped, no pun intended, and the huge supporting cast was far too cumbersome and underserviced. The running gag of using a new Harrison Wells each year to keep Tom Cavanaugh around finally crossed the line into unbearable, and we got that dreadful strapless chin on the Flash's cowl. The only things that saved this season from taking the number 7 spot were the solid storytelling surrounding Barry Allen's time-displaced daughter Nora, and the twist that revealed Eobard Thawne as the season's true big bad. Number 4, Season 6. Initially, this season was well on its way to redeeming the series after the misfires of Seasons 4 and 5. Ramsey Rosso was not nearly a perfect villain and was rushed too fast into villainy, but was still both cool and memorable. Crisis on Infinite Earths was the second strongest crossover in this series, and the Mirror Masters storyline could have been one of the Flash's best arcs since Season 4. The only things that ruined it were COVID-19 and the hasty and foolish decision by showrunners to fire Hartley Sawyer over tweets made 10 years prior, then to mothball his season-long storyline, which had already been built up as an integral part of the finale. Number 3, Season 3. This season was rushed at times. Its first few episodes ruined what should have been a solid Flashpoint storyline, Its tone was relatively uneven, plus its ending was flat as a pancake and came out of left field in a negative way. But there were still enough cool things about it, particularly in the last few episodes, that helped it recapture enough of the magic from the first 2 seasons to help it earn 3rd place on this list. Number 2, Season 2. When this season was at its best, it was as good as or even better than Season 1. Some of the finer points were the multiverse elements and the build up to Zoom as a villain. Unfortunately, Season 2 wasn't as consistent in its execution as Season 1, and the storytelling wasn't as focused throughout. This season majorly lost momentum in the back half with the reveal of Zoom's lackluster ultimate plan and the even more lackluster way in which he and an entire army of metahumans were defeated. Still, credit where it's due, this season ran circles around every other season I've listed thus far. Pun absolutely intended. Ha 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 ha. Number 1, Season 1. By far the easiest choice. The Flash's first season essentially became the benchmark by which all other DC Comics based shows on the CW were judged during the 2010s and probably into the 2020s until Superman and Lois. The Flash Season 1 was nowhere close to prestige TV and was very imperfect, but it was pretty good and definitely the best that the CW has offered in a very long time. It was a truly winning blend of heart, humor, romance, and superhero action that converged into an amazing season finale that brought a surprising amount of grounded emotional depth to a story about a man who has the powers of a god. Alright, so there you have it. All 9 seasons of The Flash ranked from worst to best. At any rate, that's just my opinion. Let me know yours. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree? Are your feelings more complex? Sound off in the comments below. Meanwhile, if you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, click subscribe, ring that bell, and hey, follow me on social media as well. So long.